Laura Frederickson, the meet director for the 2011 Florida Middle School State Cross Country Championships. The second year, Laura.
Yep, we made it through.
Everybody's left the midway. We're just about the last ones here. What a great atmosphere. You know, I wasn't able to make it here last year. Something else was going on that day. That must have been pretty darn important.
Regions for you.
Probably. But I got here this year, and man, what a great time I had. The atmosphere was just unbelievable. Right around 450 runners, we think. Kids of all ages that got a chance to experience a real class, real top-notch operation. So congratulations to you and all the folks that made it happen. You know, I know you don't put a meet on like this by yourself, so I'm sure you had some help.
Oh yes, I had the Tampa Bay Heat Volunteers. That's actually the organization that they're actually homeschoolers, all homeschoolers, and we have sports teams, we have cross-country teams, and all the parents, all the moms, all the dads, the kids all came out early. They didn't, and I had the high schoolers volunteers. They get Bright Futures hours for that. We also had McKeel Academy come out and provide some course volunteers for the outlying courses. Let's see, we had in the Sandland. They've been wonderful. They put all these picnic tables out and mowed the courses, evened out areas, and just provided quite a bit of support.
Yeah. Well, I know you guys had to hustle after losing out on the old course over at Sun and Fun. But you know, this course is very, very nice. Some old idyllic oak trees, and the grass and the footing is nice, and you've got the ponds with the alligators and all kinds of
alligators. I have to tell families, please watch those kids. There could be somebody coming up, something.
Yeah. Are you happy with the way things turned out when it was all said and done?
I think so. Like sometimes you don't really know until you start looking at pictures and videos. I think I didn't feel as frazzled as I did last year because we had a game plan. We went through it last year, took notes, and knew what to expect. And the things that we didn't, like parking last year was a little easier, so we had to have a game plan for our parking this year. I think it went well, and concessions, t-shirts, awards, still some areas I'd like to improve on.
Well, you know, it all starts with a vision, and Joe Miserek rallied you folks around last year. Jason Burnov at FL Runners, Bill Convey, yourself, a slew of folks really kind of came together, what, a year and a half ago?
Yep, a year and a half ago.
Pulled off the first state cross-country championships for the middle schoolers, and here we are in year 2.
Yes.
And I distinctly remember you saying last year you believe you were made to be the meet director. This was almost a calling, something that you felt really kind of drawn to. Do you still feel the same way?
Well, it's kind of like childbirth or being pregnant. You know, don't ask if you're going to have another one until you've been through it and gotten, you know, settled down. I think this year, now that I knew what to expect, but with the venue location change, that did kind of throw me. I actually had a shorter time frame to put together this meet than I did last year. And last year we thought we had a short time, but this year somebody asked me last night, what day was it that you found out? And I remember it was on October 5th. So it was actually 1 month to switch the locations. And we wanted to stay in this area because I'd already made arrangements with the hotels, and the groundwork was laid for this South Lakeland area. Luckily, in some areas, it's a good thing I did procrastinate with, like the t-shirt graphics, because we were able to get the t-shirt graphic with Sandland in it and some other things. So it was a good thing I did procrastinate in certain areas.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you a lot of people had a lot of fun, especially, you know, the middle schoolers, the young kids and the 7th and 8th graders. I saw a lot of line dancing out there, great DJ, you know, great announcer, so that made the atmosphere even more like a carnival.
Yes.
And I think everybody walked away with a real positive experience. And hey, it's just a little bit afternoon and the midway's clear, the meet's behind us, you know, it's all said and done. Where do we go from here, though? I mean, this is the second year for the middle school championships. Where do you see it going next year? Do you see it getting bigger, larger, more kids from across the state, more involvement? I mean, you always want to take that next step.
Well, our numbers were about the same as last year, but I think we had some more people find out about the meet, and it's a matter of getting into the small leagues or the athletic directors, For example, we had, there was a county championship, or there was a championship on November 1st, and that was the day that we had closed our registration. So I was in touch with a coach, and she was able to get qualified and get up here. And word of mouth is getting out, and it's getting the athletic directors in those leagues behind it, because it was, hey, you've qualified if you want to go. And the league I run here in Brandon, the top 2 teams didn't come because it wasn't put out there, and it's a matter of just getting that information out. And information did get out to other areas. That like Destin Middle School didn't come last year, and they were here this year and they won. They took home the big trophy. So I think next year it's still getting the words out and getting those more organized at the local level, getting the meets on the board, getting the meets on the calendars, knowing about them, and getting people out there to get qualified.
Yeah. Well, I think, if it all starts at the grassroots level, and we get some of the administrators across the state to first of all know about the meet, and secondly support it, this meet's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. How can folks find out about the Florida Youth Running Association?
Well, they can go to the website, FLYRA, FLYRA.org, and they'll have information out there. We also have the state track meet for middle schoolers. We're a sponsor of that one as well, and that will be in the springtime, and there's qualifying meets for that. So the 2 big meets we do are the state meets, state track and state cross country. Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to the 3rd rendition. Yes. Will you be back next year?
I'd like to come back. I'd like to come back here. I said that last year too, but yeah, I like the course. It's a great meet director course. There's not a lot of marking to do, and it would be nice to have it here next year, so that way we do start establishing the history. It would be nice to get course records. Yeah.
It was a great event all around, and thanks to you and all your volunteers.
Oh yeah.
Thank you very
Big
much.
Shout out to them.
Yeah. Be free, be a runner.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Laura.